Well, let's speak with Austin Aigbe, who is the Program Officer for the Center for Democracy and Development, the CDD, who joins us in the studio to look at electoral matters. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you.
I know you're busy with the second series of the town hall coming up. We'll talk about that in a moment. But let's talk about INEC offices being raised. It's almost becoming a common thing to see. Some statistics would say, a lot of offices have been born since 2019 till now. But let's talk about these recent ones in Ogun and Osun. Today there was that meeting by INEC and the intergovernmental security agencies. And, thankfully, INEC says there's over 65,000 people would not be disenfranchised. But who, in your opinion, is raising INEC offices, and what do they stand to gain from doing such?
I mean, as the chairman has already said, I think it's something that worries everyone. Most likely, when I heard the news, the first thing that came to my mind was, could it be a distraction? There's already a conversation about the tense political atmosphere, insecurity across the borders of Nigeria, and all of the things that are happening, and misinformation continue to further expand what is going on. Yes, there were attacks, even though from what we now know, the Ogun attack and the Osun attack, there's a variance, but people just classified as the same. Because in order to amplify the narrative in Osun State, what is important is that maybe the intention of those who did the Ogun was targeted in Osun because of the narrative that came afterward, that it was targeted at the gubernatorial election. After all, now there are tribunal ongoing, they also move on to appeal, and that the materials have been destroyed. Just to send a narrative to the political landscape that we won the elections, or this has happened, apparently our opponent has gone to destroy it. Something like that. But I think we need to be more coordinated in a way that INEC need to learn from this process and be more conscious in the way we keep these sensitive materials in those places that are a bit lukewarm or are exposed to attacks,
vulnerable to attacks. Yeah, 41 INEC offices attacked in 2 years. Between 2019 and 2021, not to add the ones that have happened recently. Now the question is, how do we protect the election regulators' infrastructure in a way that they're not so vulnerable that people can actually just set them on fire? What would be that alternative? Do you think technology can actually, to a very large extent, solve that problem? Because INEC comes out and says, look, they've burnt our facilities, our structures, but vital documents are still very much intact. And
that's the truth of the matter. The truth is that INEC has moved a bit digital. That's the clear truth. Even the register of voters now, by law, is going to be digital. It's going to be available on the INEC portal. So you can go using the link and all of that to track your name on the voter register. Beyond the one of it pasted at the ward level, you can actually also check online. So what INEC is doing is that even if you have to take out all of this, the only thing that will be impacted will be the physical structure. I mean, you can have the boxes that were burnt, you can have them online, you can have the cubicle online, but sincerely, 60-something thousand in Ogun PVC that were burnt, that can be recreated. All you didn't do is to have the number of those uncollected PVCs, and then you recreate them. Right. But just recreation is also, you have to think about the resources that you have to do all of that. All of this infrastructure bonds will need to be rebuilt. You have to reinforce the walls. But it's going to be a challenge to try to put personnel, security personnel, across all of the INEC offices. Indeed. It's like you have to put security personnel across every local government offices everywhere. And in this country we don't have all of the human resources, but like security resources at our disposal. Whether the DSS, the NIA, the police, the Civil Defense Corps. There are already security challenges that all of these folks are taking care of. So now deploying. But what could happen is to have a central place. Like now, I'm already thinking about having like a bank every evening or thereabout, I know that there are usually movement from banks to the central bank. I mean, from the commercial bank to the central bank, because that's a more secure location with certain vote. I think that's what INEC need to do. At the end of each day, there should be some level of movement of certain resources, whether it's a beavers. I'm happy that there was no beavers that was born, because that's very important. It was the things that could be replaced. Almost all of the papers are online.
Ballot boxes, voting cubicles, megaphones, election bags, electric power generators, and of course the uncollected PVCs.
They can be replaced.
Indeed. Let's also talk about something the INEC boss said today. He said 2 issues necessitated that emergency meeting today. This raising of the offices and violence during campaigns. What do you make of it? He says, so far, 50 incidents across 21 states of the Federation, including Federal Capital Territory, have been recorded. A peaceful campaign, he says, heralds a peaceful election. Do you have concerns about the sort of elections we're about to have?
We have a conversation with the INEC chair during the CSO. Usually we have CSO meetings with INEC, including those of media. Part of the things we raised was that INEC need to make strong statement. We know now that there are certain governors of state who put threshold on how you have to campaign. Some even put some certain amount of money that for you to campaign, you have to use XYZ location. And that, for me, that's not within the purview of the governors. It's a pointer to violence. When you tell the party A that you have to use this location, whereas in your own party you are at liberty to use any location, or in one of the states in the northwest that a radio station or TV station was shut down because it apparently took opposition campaign materials. That's wrong, and I'm happy with what NBC and all of that did to say no, you don't have the power. So we need to control excesses of power. You know, absolute power, they say corrupt. Absolutely. Most of these guys, most of our folks in political power with political authority tend to exhibit that. Come on, it's my time. So if it happens in Lagos, I'm going to do it. And now you see it happening in Lagos, in Edo, in Rivers, and everyone is doing it. Before the election, they are going to do it. So the earlier INEC make a strong statement, the better for all of us.
Yeah, but INEC itself has raised concerns that it's really disturbed by this, trend. This peace accords that we've had, started not too long ago. Does it make nonsense of the peace accords? How do we get politicians to?
That's what I'm saying. INEC cannot be the one raising those flags, and it should be hitting it on the head. Meaning, you have to make strong statement. I expect that the commission's chair should announce and call these folks out. You do this, we blacklist. I don't know if INEC has that power, but then within the electoral landscape, certain power within the INEC as a commission, or if INEC feel that it doesn't have the power, you go to court and compel the governor to respect the electoral law. That INEC is the one who determines when campaign starts, who determines when campaign ends, who tell you where to go campaign. That's why INEC has said you can't go to churches, you can't go to mosques, you can't use any form of religious houses. That is within the power of INEC. No governor should then say you can't use this facility because I don't want violence in my area. Everyone is hiding under the violence apparently they've created. So when you do against their will, you say, but I told you. And we know this system. And everyone will just want to use the opportunity that exists.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We look forward to the town hall series. We know CDD is playing a huge role in that. Yeah. And of course, we're happy to discuss that perhaps tomorrow before the town hall. Thank you so much.
All right, Sunday will be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.